Hey everybody, and welcome. In today's video, we are going to continue working with i2 Software's Forest Pack Pro, and in this occasion we are actually going to use it to show you how you can make grass or grass fields with with the software. Alright, now since this is one of the things that you have to know how to do if you're ever going to do any exterior architectural works, you need to understand one thing. Grass on its own is not a flat surface. Now, what I mean by a flat surface is not like it's flat like a plane, but rather the texture that it has. Let me show you what I mean. So here we have a simple grass field. I have it open here. As you can see, when you think about grass, the way that we think it's one flat plane that's green and that's so. But when you actually take a look at the grass closer, you're gonna see that all of the grass is smaller clumps of grass bound together, and because they are close to each other, they make this grass field. You have different types of grass. You have more uniform like grass. This kind of gives off that flat look because it doesn't have too much difference between the clumps of grass. But even so, it's simple strands close to each other, and that flatness is you can get that flatness because you have a high density of the grass elements. You can see that thing here as well. Here's another one. This one is actually cut grass, and here's another one. This example even shows this better because you have clumps of space where you don't have too much grass. So this is more visible. All right, so I'm going to close this and come back here. So knowing this, we need to have two things when we want to make grass. So the first one, again, we are working with i2 Software's Forest Pack Pro, and the way Forest Pack Pro works, it's trying to scatter a certain geometry over a certain field or over a certain plane. So again, I'm going to go ahead and make one plane. We're going to put it like this. Make it 1000 by 1000. Put it in the center like that. And there we go. All right, for this I'm actually going to put it in a ground layer. And I'm going to hide this layer because I don't need it for now. Alright, so we have a plane. Now, what we need to do here is now create the actual clumps of grass. Now, for the creation of the grass, there are a couple of ways you can go about this. The first one would be the old way of making this, which would probably be something like you come over here, you will make one plane, for example, something like this. Then you give it a few segments here. Go ahead and convert this to an editable poly. Put in one in the middle here. So we're just trying to get one clump of grass, something that would be preferably. All right, let's go like this, like this. Make this smaller. And you get a piece of leaf like this. Now you can add a bend modifier to it so it doesn't stand just like this. So we can go bend it to, let's say, what angle. Yeah, this is going to work. Actually, this works just fine. So I can bend it one more time and get the angle just on a different. Alright, let's go like this. Nope. Well, you get the idea. I don't have to look of getting the right axes, but that is not the point. After this, you just slap on a turbo smooth and you get a piece of grass like this. You do a bit of tweaking and you get a couple of these together, form up. You get one of them a higher or a lower, and you make them into a clump that you can later on, like this, you can, I don't know, make it so it's more interesting, and you can use this as a piece of geometry that you can scatter. But I don't want to use that approach. Instead, I'm going to use another plugin. It's a free plugin called Debris Maker 2. Now, I've actually used this in one of my previous videos. You can get the Debris Maker over at debrismaker.aaron00.com. I will leave a link in the description, so feel free and get it, because this is a rather great little plugin, because it can give you a ton of elements or geometry that you can use in your scenes. For example, we need grass, so I can click over here and choose the grass. As soon as I put the grass, it's going to give me some options to play around with. So first of all, I want to reduce this to 1, because this is how many tufts of grass will be made. But just so you guys know what I'm talking about when I say tufts, I'm going to hit generate with the default elements. You can see 1 of 3, 2 of 3, 3 of 3. There you go. We just got 3 tufts of grass in our scene. So I'm going to delete them all and get this back to 1. So the way this works, it's going to take all the input that you've put in here. For example, how many blades per tuft? With 80 blades, you get a lot of blades, like it says. So for this, I want a more simpler approach. So I'm going to hit at 10. The blade option, grass height is okay. Leaves per blade, 5. You can choose to have the leaf bending or how irregular they are. Let's see how this looks as it is right now. So I'm going to click on generate. In here, right away, I get this clump of grass. Alright, now if I click on it, you're going to notice that this is actually a hair and fur modifier. And if you want to use this as actual geometry, what you need to do here is turn on, let's see, in the tools you have this option where it says hair to mesh. You click it and then click on delete to delete the hair and fur, and what you're left with is actual geometry, so it's an editable mesh. Click on the one in the middle as well. You have a hair and fur there as well. Click that hair to mesh and delete the hair and fur. So what we are left with is 2 edible meshes of green grass. So I can hold down shift and drag one to the side like this, and then select this one and attach it with the original one. And now what I've actually done is I have 2 different types of grass by just clicking on this button once. Now the thing is that I can choose to have different different options here, and it's going to give me a variety or another version of this model. Now the good thing about using this debris maker is that besides using it for switchgrass, you can use Indian grass. Again, it's going to give you a different result, so you can generate. There you go. You get again a different result. Again, we do the same thing. Hair to mesh, delete, hair to mesh, delete. Put this to the side like this. Hold down shift, make a copy, attach both of these together, and now again we have another version of grass that we can use. So as it is right now, we have 4 different types of grass, varying by size. All right, again, let's hit it for a yard grass, and yeah, this is actually pretty decent as well. So I'm going to select again, do the same thing here to mesh, delete. I'm trying to select this one. Head to mesh, delete. Hold down shift to the side, copy, get both of these to be one and the same, and put this here like this. All right, so now I actually have 6 different types of grass that I can use for my scene. Alright, now since I already have my geometry, now I'm gonna go ahead and unhide my plane or my ground. Alright, default. I'm gonna put these guys to the side so they're not in the way. What I actually like to do is whenever I'm using this type of, well, let me just add one. And okay, let's give it a color like that. Awesome. What I like to do when I'm using, well, okay, let's see. When I'm using the Forest Pack Pro is whenever I have these scattering elements, what I like to do is go over and put a rectangle around them. It's nothing too complex. It gives me easier overlook as to where my scattering objects are. Alright, so for this, what I'm actually going to do here is going to put in more segments. So I want to have like, I don't know, 25 by 25. And I don't want to have a flat piece of surface. So I'm going to go and add a noise modifier to it. Give it some strength, I don't know, 15, 15, 15. This should give us, well, let's give it a more of a nudge. Awesome. Put a turbo smooth, and there we go. Now we have a rough looking ground texture. Alright, for this, again, I'm going to put a texture to it. And to it, I'm going to apply a map, which is a simple ground texture because I like to have it on the base. Let's see how this thing is going to work. Okay, let's style it up to 5 by 5. And this is pretty decent so far. Alright, awesome. Now it's time to add in our Forest Pack Pro. Alright, go here, i2 Software, Forest Pack Pro, and you click on the plane. It's okay, do you want to enable it? Yes, alright, I will enable it. Alright, so like we saw in the previous 2 videos where we explained about Forest Pack Pro, you need to first of all define the geometry that's going to be scattered. So geometry, come over here, select these guys, and now hit on custom object, hit on none, and select, let's select first of all the big ones. But before I do this, I'm actually going to go and name this. So grass, small S for small, 01. So I'm going to copy this, 02, 03. And then I'm going to go grass, L for large, 01. Glass large 02, grass large 03. Awesome. All right, back to selecting our Forest Pack Pro, which is a bit of a problem now since I managed to delete, but no problem. We'll go like this, Forest 01. Awesome. And hit on none and click on the small guy over here. Yes. Right away, it's going to distribute it over on our plane. Now, I want to have a better variety of grass. So again, I'm going to click here on Add New Item. Same thing, custom object, small number 2, small number 3. And now if you take a look here, I can see that I have more clumps of grass, which is okay. But let's just go ahead and add in the large tufts as well. So one more plus, custom object, click, custom object, click, and the third one is with the custom object, click. All right, so we have now different types of geometry in our scene. Let me just drop in a V-Ray camera in the scene so we can see what is going on. I'll press Control C to control it over here and zoom in so I can see the field better. All right, this should be with the save frames on. Let's just find, okay, this is gonna work just fine. All right, awesome. The only thing that we need now is some type of a light. Let me use V-Ray Sun. Put it from the side. Do I want to use it as an environment? Yes, I want to use it as an environment. Pull it upwards. And now let's drop in a render and see how things look like. Alright, so it looks like a very barren ground with just a few pieces of grass there and here. So what we want to do here is go ahead and again select our Forest Pack Pro. Trying to select one of these guys. There. Alright, first I'm going to close the geometry down and go to distribution. Now I don't want to go with the full, but I'm going to hit it on dense, so we have much more here. So the first thing that I will need to change here is change the units. So instead of 10,000, let's write 5,000. This is going to give us a bit more. As you can see, again, it's too small. 1,000. Well, 1,000 is starting to get us somewhere. But the thing is that you don't have to rely on this look, because this kind of doesn't give you the right amount of geometry that you're going to be seeing. So from time to time it would be okay to go ahead and re-render and see how much grass you have in your scene. So let's go and do that again. Alright, I can see again it's too sparse, so instead of 1,000 I'm going to go with 300. This should give us a much more dense look like this. Alright, let's render and see. And as soon as the render is finished, you can notice that we are starting to get some of the grass on our surface. And just like when we when I showed you previously in the images, you can see that we have different types of, or different clumps of grass next to each other, and when they're combined they make a nice field. But now here's the other issue that we come across. All of our grass is too uniform, and it kind of breaks the illusion, or it gives it away that it's actually a CGI terrain. So what we want to do here is, for now, I'm going to go down to the transform and enable transform translation. I'm going to enable the rotation, and I'm going to leave it up at -5 and 5 over here, and I'm going to enable the scale. So this should randomize the grass to the point where it's no longer uniform. But since the renders kind of tend to be a tad bit longer when you have a dense mesh like this, I want to do a few more things before I let another render go. So that would be, first of all, I'm going to go down back to the geometry tab, and I want to explain another feature here. Next to all of these pieces where it says grass S123 and L123, you have a number here, and all of them, that number is 100. Now what is this number? This number is the probability number. So this is showing you how probable is that, what is the probability number of that piece of geometry showing up in your screen. So by default, all of them are at 100. But for example, let's say that we want to have less of the smaller ones and we want to retain the bigger clumps. So what I'm going to do here is, with this S01 selected, I'm going to go down where it says probability, and from 100 I want to decrease it down to 30%. Right away you can see that thing here updates in the viewport. Again, change this to 30 and change this to 30. So the probability that these smaller ones are going to appear, it's going to be at 30%, while these bigger ones will retain their appearance. So what I'm going to do here is, in the distribution map, I'm probably going to amp this up just a tiny bit more because I want to get in more geometry in here. So let's try with, I don't know, maybe 200, see how that goes. That is going to amp it up for about 50% from the 300. And now let's re-render with all of our distribution map changes that we did and all of the transform changes that we did, and see what happens. I'm gonna get one to 50 and another to 150. So we have a bigger disparity between the scale. Alright, so let's re-render and see. Alright, and as you can see now, as soon as the render is finished, our tuft of grass, or our geometry on which we scattered our grass, looks a lot more realistic, because you have a lot of these pieces of grass that are simply either scaled, rotated, or translated, and you get a much more organic look, or a natural look. Alright, so with this, we saw how we can get the grass to look realistic. Now, I want to show you guys one other thing that we haven't covered so far with our coverage of the Forest Pack Pro, and that is the ability to control how your, or better yet, where your grass or your distributed elements will be shown. And that can be controlled by adding splines. So let me show you how this is actually done. Let's say, for example, in this field you want to have a simple walkway on which it's going to be a pathway, so you won't get any grass on that pathway. That is very, very easy to do with Forest Pack Pro. All you gotta do is take a line and just make it so, like that. But let's make it a bit more interesting, and instead of just having a simple straight line, I'm going to put in a couple of refined vertices, and let's move it just a tiny bit above it so you can see it better here. Alright, awesome. Alright, so I have these two vertices. I'm going to put one over here, put one over there, like that. Select them both, right click, and convert them to either a smooth or a Bezier corner, but let's go with a smooth, which should give us some more interesting results. There we go. This can be a pathway. Now, here's the thing. You can choose to have this as a area in which everything is going to be excluded from it. So let me show you how that is done. You have over here, you have a tab called Surface, and you have a tab called Areas. Now the areas is a surface area on which things will be scattered. In our case, this is the plane or the ground. So I'm not going to touch the areas. What I'm interested is in the surface. So to do it here, I'm going to go, whoops, back to surface. I'm going to go, oh, well, not surface. Oh, actually, yes. I'm going to click on, well, just a second. Actually, what we are looking for is area. So I'm going to click on over here where it says add a new spline area, or I can click add a new object area, exclude only. So let's click on add a new spline area. And now you can see this button over here says spline none. It's asking me to click on a given spline. So I'm going to click on this spline over here. So I'm going to click on it, and now I have to choose, do I want this spline to be an include or an exclude? If I click on exclude, you're going to notice that everywhere that spline is moving across our field, the grass will be cut out. So as you can see here, we no longer have any grass along that route where this was going. Now here's the thing. This is actually kind of okay to use if you want to have like a clear cut in some space, but if you want to have a whole pathway, what you want to do here is hold on shift, drag this downwards to more or less where you want your pathway to end. And now what we need to do is select both of these and attach them together. And what you're noticing right here is as soon as I attached it to the original one, we got this same look over here as well. So now this can be used, for example, if you want to have some kind of card threads going around, which can leave this nice look. But like we said, we want to have this be all empty. So the way to do it would be quite easy. And all you gotta do is come over here in the refine, hit the connect button, hit refine, click on the first one. It's going to ask you, do you want to refine it or connect only? I'm going to turn off do not show this message again. I'm only going to connect them. So connect only, click here, right click. Do the same thing with the first, refine, click, click, right click. And now here's the thing. We connected this, but we're still seeing everything in the middle. So what gives? Well, the problem is whenever you're connecting stuff like this, or with the refine tool, you need to weld these vertices. So hold on control, hit the weld. And as soon as you hit the weld, what you'll notice is this is one continuous spline now. So it's a closed area. And lo and behold, now we no longer have any grass along this route. And now here's the great thing about using this kind of an approach. This is interactive settlement. So that means when you select one of these and you move it around, you can see that it automatically updates. And it's really interactive and easy to use. There we go. And as you can see, this can be very, very powerful tool to have in your workflow, because you can really easily define where you want your grass to be. For example, if I need this to be some kind of road, I can do it like this. If I need to have this road go around a house I can simply move in the vertices to wherever I want it to be, and then when I render, I'm gonna get this very nice defined line. So for now, let's re-render one more time and see how this thing is going to look like. And now as soon as the render is finished, you can see that just in the place where we had the spline overlay our original or our base, we no longer have it covered with grass. Alright, so I hope you guys had fun. You managed to learn something new. If you have any questions, leave them below. I'll meet you in the comment section of the video. And if you enjoyed this video, then please do click the like button. And if you're not subscribed, now is a great time to do so. As always, thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.